A major youth conference gets underway. Barbadians assured there is enough pork and poultry to satisfy the Christmas demand. An electrical fire at Hills supermarket in the city causes the business to close for the day. And in sports, St. Philip rules the under-19 Inter-Parish Netball.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Good evening, I'm Pearson Bowen. A major inaugural conference intended to empower and transform young people started in Barbados today. It is the I Am 3-day event taking place at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center. Acting Minister of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment, Davidson Ishmael, says it will help young people to make informed decisions that shape their future. Trevor Thorpe reports.
Minister Ishmael told the participants the I Am conference will positively impact on their lives. He said since the official launch of the Year of the Youth, the focus from the Commonwealth and all stakeholders has been to provide them with opportunities. According to him, 10,000 free e-learning training courses have been made available to young people within the Commonwealth. He encouraged them to grasp the opportunities provided.
I therefore encourage all young people to take full advantage of these e-courses and these opportunities. In particular, the free e-learning courses and online courses have been developed in conjunction with leading industry experts from IBM, from Microsoft, Meta, and others. And they include courses in artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, cybersecurity, and software development.
At the national level, the minister said the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment has settled on a re-energized mandate to raise awareness of issues affecting the youth, while simultaneously challenging and seeking to change the misconceptions about young people.
Today's I Am conference is, therefore, in keeping with this youth-centered approach, with the conference's objectives being laser focus on key areas of interest to young people. These areas of interest include health and wellness, employment and entrepreneurship, finance, investment and wealth management, housing, arts, sports, the environment, and many others.
Participant and young entrepreneur Correa Scantleberry, in her remarks, told the group of her journey and said the I Am conference will provide them with tools to make their dreams a reality.
We're the youth, need to step up, rise to the plate and take the mantle and carry it forward, because our four parents, they're soon going to go off the scene, and who's going to take up from where they're left off. So we have to see the need to pay keener or more interest in the sector as young people. I know it does not look exactly that glamorous from the picture that is out there, but once you get into it, you're going to find a love.
The 3-day conference is driven by youth participation and youth-led, with support from corporate Barbados. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
Barbadians are being assured that there will be more than enough pork available as the Christmas season fast approaches. However, there may be challenges in accessing some herbs, fruits and vegetables, while the chicken supply is expected to be close to normal. Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Agricultural Society, James Paul, gave the update last evening on CBC's current affairs program, The People's Business.
I've been hearing the rounds recently in the pork community. There's a rumor going around that, there are 2 containers that have come in out of Suriname. I'm not like, hold on. We always have this penchant in this country for imports. And I really think that this, it will be a sin if at a time when farmers have an opportunity to make a lot of money, okay, for the feed their families, and they're not exorbitant in terms of the demands, okay, that was to be robbed of them by imports. And I want to make it very clear that I'm hoping that government recognizes this, okay, and that we do not have a situation where any imports will be coming to the island around Christmas when it comes to food products.
Mr. Paul adds that as far as poultry goes, the smaller producers have been playing an important role in helping to maintain supply. The BAS official also touched on the contentious issue of the adverse impact monkeys are having on crops. He believes a long-promised consensus of the monkey population needs to be completed and their numbers reduced. Supporting that view was noted entomologist Ian Gibbs.
Look, we have to be realistic. We need to manage the monkey populations on this island. We are not looking at destroying every single monkey on the island. No, no, no. We are looking at managing the populations to a degree where they will not cause significant damage to our crops.
An explosion and electrical fire forced the closure of Hills Supermarket on Roebuck Street today. General Manager Gerhard Ashby told CBC News no injuries were recorded.
There was some smoke, but there was no fire, nothing. We were pretty safe. Basically, we're shut down. Electrically, even though we have a backup generator, everything runs through the fuse boxes. So since they've blown up, we're effectively shut down and lost all business until this can be repaired. We've contacted Barbados Light and Power. They're sending a repair crew, they said, as soon as possible. And I've contacted my electrician to replace the panels in the building.
Driver Adrian Kelman said the noise startled the staff who fled the building.
It was really scary, you know, it was frightening, you know, like the noise, you know, and them in the customs and nothing like that. So then the police passed the same time, he said what was going on, and he called the fire service the same time. But the boss didn't know what was going on at the moment, right? So then the fire service come and then tried to get it out because it was still burning. And then the police came back again because he went somewhere and then he came back. So he tell everybody like stay away from the fire. It was still smoking and stuff like that there.
Station Officer Emerson White spoke of the fire department's response.
We received a call this morning at 10:56 to a suspected structural fire at Leonard C. Hill Supermarket. The first responding appliance arrived on the scene at 11:01 to identify that it was an electrical fire. And as you can see, we have a burnt out meter, and we responded with 2 fire appliances, one from the port side and one from the Pine Fire Station with 8 fire officers under my command. We are presently awaiting the arrival of the Barbados Light and Power, and up to this point, the electrical supply has been isolated from the building.
Time for a break, but coming up, more delays at the Accident and Emergency Department of the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. The Accident and Emergency Department of the Queen Elizabeth Hospital is again experiencing a surge in the number of patients presenting for treatment with various medical complaints. The QEH, in a statement, revealed that at 4 p.m. on Sunday, approximately 40 patients were waiting to be seen by its medical team. The hospital is reminding you, if you present to the QEH with medical conditions which are not deemed life-threatening or an emergency, it is possible that you may experience an extended wait. Life-threatening conditions under the A&E's triage system will continue to be seen and treated immediately. The public is reminded they have the option of visiting the 24-hour Winston Scott Polyclinic at Gemmitt's Lane for treatment or their private general practitioner. Well, tomorrow, November the 14th, will mark the 59th anniversary of the hospital. A service was held at the QEH Chapel, giving thanks for the milestone. Several other activities are planned to mark the anniversary throughout the week. Communications specialist Shane Seeley provided further insight on the activities on Morning Barbados.
On Wednesday, we open our doors. So we'll have this big open day, Tisha, with a number of vendors, a number of major brands will be coming into the QEH and offering what they have, their wares, their offers to our staff and to patients who are passing through, maybe visitors as well, who are passing through our doors. They'll get a chance to take up some of the offers, and some big discounts are in store. I can tell you, Tisha, that will be an interesting one. So we'll have a lot of people, especially on Wednesday. You can come down, take a peep. I'm pretty sure you'll like what there is in our commercial center. We are having a shopping center in one of the more populous areas of the QEH. When you pass through the corridors, you'll see it there set up. It's just all a part of what we'll do during the week. And then there's Thursday, big plans for that.
Hospital officials say response from the public to its medication delivery service has been overwhelming. Trudy Griffith, the lead for the medication delivery service, says it is now in its 4th year. That initiative was implemented owing to the COVID-19 pandemic.
When we started, the service was free, and then we transitioned to a paid service, and we haven't seen any major fallout. So we have continued the delivery service. We are actually in excess over 1,000 deliveries every month, and we have the capacity for more. So we want to appeal to persons, if you do not want to come to the QEH and wait for long periods of time, in some cases, to get your medication, we can do that for you while you're at home, you're at work, or you can do that on behalf of a family member who may not be tech savvy.
Well, it's Diabetes Month, and as efforts are being made to heighten awareness about the disease, the Lions Club is playing an active part in the activities. It's doing so through its Global Village initiative. District Governor Subdistrict 60B of the International Association of Lions Clubs, Dr. Carlisle Goddard, says the club takes the chronic disease seriously. He was a guest on Morning Barbados.
This year's theme for World International Diabetes Day is access to care. And that's right in the heart of us Lions, because we get into the communities and we try to be engaging with persons who are at risk of having diabetes. And in Barbados, where diabetes is very prevalent, we do a lot of screening, we do a lot of campaigning. So us Lions said for World Diabetes this year, we want to make something homely to Barbadians. And so the concept of the Global Village was created. And in the Global Village context, we want the common Barbadian to know diabetes is about all of us. It's not like, oh, you hear your neighbor have diabetes or this person have diabetes. With the rate of diabetes in Barbados, almost everyone in Barbados knows someone who has diabetes.
World Diabetes Day will be observed tomorrow, and Chair Subdistrict 60B Leroy Hines says testing for the disease will be undertaken across the island. Now, the importance of the oral tradition was stressed as a secondary leg of the pontifications and poetry competition of the Ministry of Education took place. Wendy Burt tells us the finalists brought their A game to the judges.
Deputy Chief Education Officer Joy Adamson has highlighted it's not what you say, but how you say it. She was speaking on day 2 of the Pontifications and Poetry competition, which was separated into juniors and seniors.
Oral speech, therefore, is necessary to communicate your thoughts. They tell me that the fear of public speaking affects 75% of the population. And I don't know if you know it, but it is the number 2 fear, or should I say the number 1 fear after death. I have found that the secret to overcome speaking in public is to speak. As a Toastmaster myself, I accept every opportunity to speak. Now, our students today will be sharing their thoughts on our theme, A Bright Future for Every Child.
The importance of the spoken word is also being factored into testing of the children.
As the Deputy Chief Education Officer responsible for schools, my ministry has been working assiduously to try to get schools to have oral assessments included in most of their assessments. It cannot only be pen and paper. We would want that schools have oral presentations as a part of the assessment from primary throughout secondary. We therefore have included this aspect in our Education Month celebration. And I want to publicly applaud the organizers for the competition.
There were performances on the theme, A Bright Future for Every Child. In the juniors, Combermare's Kazara Carter copped 2nd place.
Children are gems, but people don't see the beauty in them until they have gone through the process of being cut and polished.
A special prize for best treatment of theme went to Harrison College's Keneela Wolcott.
are burning brighter and brighter each and every day until it reaches its supernova and burns out.
But it was St. Michael's Leanna Green who was adjudged top junior.
I recently conducted an online survey of 379 students and parents across Barbados. And 68% of students agree general school life would improve without uniforms.
In the seniors, Tahira Mann of Harrison College placed second.
And affluent livelihoods hold center stage for young, impressionable minds. The most crucial steps to success are often overlooked.
The top spot went to Atiba Seeley Thompson. He also won the prize for best overall speech delivery.
If you were to ask me the same question, I would say something successful, something that's seen as successful.
His prizes include a laptop with bag, $1,000 from the Insurance Corporation of Barbados Limited, and a trophy, among others. Wendy Burke, CBC News.
Monday night it is indeed, and Anne-Marie Burke is with me. Anne-Marie, good evening to you.
Good evening to you, Pearson. And I start with the news of netball. St. Philip won the Barbados Netball Association's Inter-Parish tournament, conquering St. George in the finals last night at the Wildy Gym. Here's a look at that game and the third place playoff. We start with the third place playoff between Christchurch and the Orange Bibs and St. Peter, who were down 11-9 at the end of the third. So in this final 15, upping their game was key, and that they did. Nice overhead pass to shooter Tyra Griffith, who easily completed the play. The ball is heading back up court again, and watch as those overhead passes were being executed. This time it's goaltender Alyssa Davidson, who after the obstruction advantage, sinked it. They were now in control. Falling behind, the girls from the south were desperate to get in those goals. The long pass gained them the advantage, calling the circle. And it was goaltender Adisha Best to step in and make it good. But after a sterling fight back, the girls from St. Peter were able to stake claim to the third place in the circle. Tyra Griffith led with 8 goals for her side as they won 17-15. And the big one, the final, the girls from the east St. Philip in purple against the Valley girls St. George. And it was St. George who started with the winning momentum, gaining the advantage from the obstruction call. And where shooter Rainier Eiffel missed, backing her up was attack Ciara Evelyn. Finding themselves down early out, the girls from St. Philip wanted to keep it as close as possible. A nice lob into the circle. Shooter Derica Haynes finds attack Taisha Trotman, and it's all settled. And at the end of the first, St. George had a 2-goal lead, 6-4. The St. Philip girls stepped into the second looking to make up ground, and they also had to really put fight and determination against a strong St. George defense. And they were able to conquer here thanks to the center and shooter Haynes. But on the other end, St. George kept the goals coming. Shooter Eiffel get her rebound back to seal the deal. So at the half, it was 10-6, the Valley girls still leading. The third, however, saw the Eastern girls change gears as they had much better passes, and in the circle, execution was on point. And sure enough, we would see a change in guard. The girls in purple found their rhythm, and it was down the road from there. Another goal added to the tally. Still, however, trailing by 4, 16-12 at the end of the third. But call it a comeback of all comebacks, as deep into the final quarter the scores were locked. The St. Philip girls had clawed their way back into it. From center to circle now, things were really like a well-oiled machine for the girls from the east. You could see they meant business, as St. George, who led all games, saw the title being snatched from them, and everyone was playing their part, and the goals kept coming. St. George down court, still fighting to keep it in now. Talk about change in fortunes. But once in the circle, the goal will be converted. But as the clock ticked down, the ball just kept going up court. And once again in the shooter's hands, you bet it was secured. And though the game's final goal was claimed by the girls from St. George, the whistle goes and the celebration begins. St. Philip stormed back to snatch the title, 26-21, the final score. The inaugural Under-21 Barbados Netball Association Parish Tournament trophy is heading to the east. Still with netball, the St. Michael School and Les Devon both picked up victories when the Barbados Secondary Schools Netball League continued recently. Les Devon defeated Ellerslie 14-7, and as CBC's Anmar Goodrich Boys reports, SMS Cougars thrashed Alexandra 20-9.
The St. Michael School in their traditional blue and green were effecting precise passing and good movement throughout this game. As the centre finds goal attack, Sienna Boyce, who makes no mistake, the hosts with the early advantage. Alexandra made an immediate response. The ball is passed up court and into the path of Nyala Yearwood. The goal attack is being challenged, but there's an infringement spotted by the referee. Yearwood with a shot and her attempt is good. Alexandra on the scoreboard. SMS again on the move. Accurate passing provides Boyce with an opportunity to add to her tally. This is a nice lob pass over the head of Alexandra's goal defense, and Boyce is on the money. As the quarter ended, SMS 10, Alexandra 2. Second quarter action, and Alexandra desperately looking to cut the deficit and get back into the contest. This is much better from the girls from Queen Street, St. Peter, and it results in goal attack Yearwood converting. Yup, she's loving it. The celebration, however, was short-lived as SMS continued to increase their lead. They come forward again and Boyce puts up her attempt, which is no good. But there's contact call on goal shooter Tiana Morris. Morris subsequently scores her first of 3 goals from 4 attempts. The St. Michael School were definitely dominating at this stage, despite Alexandra trying to fight back. This is Boyce once more. Excuse me, please. The lead is 13-6 at halftime in favor of the hosts. SMS continued to stamp their authority in the third. Quick short passes before another lob over to goal attack Boyce, who notches. That's another goal under her belt. Alexandra were forced to make a few changes in personnel, and the difference was clear. Goal attack Yearwood was off target, but the new goal shoot, Najaria Young, scores the rebound. Despite the changes by Alexandra, SMS were not letting up. Boyce again with another of her 16 goals from 23 attempts. The boys' show continued as she picked up another goal as SMS took full control of the third and fourth, just as they did in the first 2 quarters, and in the end were victorious 20-9 over Alexandra. Anmar Goodrich Boys, CBC Sports.
Business now. A member of the real estate community is giving the green light to the recent announcement of standardizations coming to the industry. Director of Operations at Ramsey Real Estate, Gary Ramsey, tells the Business Report it augurs well for the sector.
I can't speak for him, but obviously more that the data set that we are pulling from is standard insofar as he would have talked about insurance values, market values, and then cost or land tax values. The challenge we have in this market is the access to data. As valuers or as sales agents, understanding where the comparables are coming from and understanding the comparables is a major challenge. And what the minister and I guess government is trying to do is standardize that, as all mature markets have, that we all have access to the same data, so we are all speaking from the same hymn sheet.
Time for round 2. She's meeting me in the boxing ring, Anne-Marie.
Now, World Governing Body for Football, FIFA, is aiming to improve the standard of play in the CONCACAF region with more highly qualified coaches. In this regard, FIFA is in collaboration with CONCACAF is conducting a week-long coach educators course at the Courtyard by Marriott. CBC's Anmar Goodrich Boyce reports.
Over the course of the next few days, participants representing the football associations of Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Barbados will complete theoretical and practical sessions in order to be capable of training coaches. FIFA's head of coaching and player development, Branimir Ulovic, who's on the island for the 4-day seminar, says the goal is to enhance the level of coaching education, not only in the Caribbean region, but around the world.
We want to improve coaching, so anyway the coaching, it looks good because we have a good product in the games and the players' development, but it's not nice also to call it a product, because it's a game, it's a passion, it's something that makes us closer and linked together. And of course, that the coaching is one of the main ingredients or pillars in the overall game development. And we want to improve the processes. We want to not stay back, rather move forward. And yes, our concern is how to make it better.
Olovich also outlined some of the main aspects the coaches are expected to take away from the course.
Well, of course, that in the role of coach educators, educating other coaches there, they need to understand the differences in the role, in the performing, because as a coaches are trying to make players better, coach educators are trying to make coaches better. And it's a different role, and the process is somehow similar, but the competencies are completely different. So they need to be aware about who they are, what they do, and what they want to produce in the future.
Head of Coaching Education at the Barbados Football Association, Kent Hall, a former participant of the program, says he expects the course to have a major impact.
I think it's going to help more of our coaches and coach educators to grow in a way that I think will really be impactful to how we can develop players and also shape the overall footballing landscape.
Anmar Goodrich Boyce, CBC Sports.
A good man. That was the overarching theme put from tributes paid to the late Philip Tudor during his funeral service this afternoon at Coral Ridge Memorial Gardens. More now in this report from Rianne Phillips.
Family, friends and co-workers were among those paying their respects to the late Acting Chief Technical Officer of the Ministry of Transport, Works and Water Resources, Philip Tudor. Son Alair thanked those gathered at the chapel of the Coral Ridge Memorial Gardens for support, especially over the last few weeks. He gave insight into the personal side of his dad.
I often tell people that my father was more than just that. He was my true best friend. This was the case ever since childhood. He acted as the air below my wings and allowed me to fly, quite literally. Constantly pushing me forward, striving to be better, whilst always setting the example of how to do so.
Professional tributes came from many, including Prime Minister Myanmar Motley, who recounted her interactions with Tudor throughout her political career.
The first person to make the case for a government going into an IMF program and recapitalizing the Ministry of Public Works with the first $10 million 2 weeks after we came to office was Philip Tudor. And Philip came and saw me. He said, I'm not coming out of line, but I need to let you know some things. And he laid them out. And that was the kind of person that he was. Never disrespectful to those under whom he worked, but at the same time, understanding the purpose that he served and the mission that was his to be able to make Barbadians capable of being connected on the roads.
And she's open to recommendations to honor his legacy. Deputy Prime Minister and Transport, Works and Water Resources Minister Santia Bradshaw noted Tudor was firm but fair and committed, adding that he encouraged everyone to reach their true potential.
From the senior level management to the janitor, they will tell you that Philip Tudor was strict, but he was fair in the handling of all matters relating to staff. While he was respected as the boss, he was also a personal friend to many across MTW, and he was the type of leader that led by example, not afraid to get on the ground and to get his hands dirty.
And while sharing hilarious childhood and adult memories of the late public servant, the Reverend Canon David Tudor left this serious message for all.
That we don't know how long we have. So can we, in this place, in Philip's name, resolve to make each day count?
Tudor was 64. Rianne Phillips, CBC News.
And that's our time tonight. Thank you for spending it with us. I'm Pearson Bowen. For the crew, to all of you, good night. By God's will, we'll see you tomorrow.